Hello and welcome back to my craft room. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody that has viewed one of my videos or subscribed, as I am totally overwhelmed by the amount of people that have been watching this. I started this really thinking it was just going to be me and it was going to give me the motivation to complete some of the projects that I said before I've spent years buying but not doing. So it's really lovely that people feel that they want to share that journey. So a big thank you to you all. This week has been a really busy week for me. I went to Sandown Park on Friday to Crafting Live, which was lovely. And then Saturday, as part of my quilting group, Born Quilters, we had Doherty's Fabric Roadshow in Emsworth Community Centre near where I live, and we help set up and just tidy up during the day, so that was another temptation. So I'm just going to share some pictures and video that I took during those two events, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I bought. So here we are, I've just arrived, I've got my list, I've got my credit card. I'm hoping to stick to the list and not buy anything else. So I'll take some pictures when we're in there and share it with you, but let's see if I can keep to my New Year's resolution and not buy any new projects. Wish me luck. Okay, so my first trip out was to Crafting Live, and the first thing when you entered the hall was they gave us this bag, and it says, "Oops, I bought more craft supplies again," which I thought was very apt, because that's what I was going to be doing. The show was sponsored by Gemporia Craft, who are also Sewing Street, which has also had a bit of my money. So it was really nice to go along and just see what was different there. I did go with my list. Here's my list of what I wanted, and generally I did okay. So the first thing I bought was some more needles. For my English paper piecing, I like to use a Milner needle, and I got some size 10 because they're nice and thin, but I also bought some sharp needles just to top up what it had. So they were on my list. I did get some more cottons, and I got the beige colour and a light grey colour, because I find that those two tend to blend in better with whatever I'm doing at the time. So these are kind of a go-to colours for me. If I'm doing something that is a dark colour, then I will try and match the cotton, but I'm a bit lazy, and if I've got cream in the machine, then I tend to stick with cream. So they were on the list as well. So far I was doing all right. And then I've got, let me just lean over, I've got a little bee that was made when I made the farmyard book for my grandson, but I did in the wrong way round, so he wouldn't fit in the book. So I thought, well, I could make him into a badge, bearing in mind I've got a bee on my logo, and it is Bee Inspired Crafts. So what I needed was some brooch backs, and I don't know, so I managed to get those, so I will be able to make him into a little badge. So I thought that would use up that, rather than just throw my little bee away. I didn't know what to do with him, so I thought, yeah, make him into a badge. So that was on my list as well. I am doing the block of the month with Born Quilters, and I needed the sashing to go through, which is the next part that we'll be doing as a workshop. And as I showed you before, the blocks are sort of purpley, grey, yellow. So I thought, well, I need to get something, because although I've got a lot of material, a lot of it is just fat quarters, which obviously isn't enough to finish that project. And I do have the next workshop on Tuesday, so I was trying to work out what could I use for it, and I came up with the realization that I didn't have anything big enough to do the sashing round 9, 12.5-inch blocks. So I went and I managed to find this purple material. It was the end of a bolt, so it's approximately 2 meters, and I got it for £6, which is far more than I needed, but I thought, well, that's quite a good bargain. So that will do the sashing and the binding as well, so I wouldn't need to buy something different for the binding, and it may even do the backing, I think. Oh no, I've got the backing's already done. So I bought that, and on my to-do list, I wanted to make a carrier for my big A1 cutting board, I think it is, or A2 possibly, but rather than just carrying it loosely, and I'd seen one at a workshop that I'd done, and it had some pockets in the front, and I thought, oh, I really could do with something like that. So when I bought this large amount of material, I thought, well, I could use that towards making this carrier, just to make sure that my cutting board was safe and stayed clean if I'm going to be putting material on it. So I had the purple with me, and on the same stall they had this piece of material. I don't know if you can see that, but the purple is almost the same colour as the backing. So I got that as well, because I thought, well, then I can get that done before the workshop on Tuesday, hopefully, and be able to take my cutting board with me without any damage to it. But I also needed then to get the strapping, which will create the handles, and it goes all the way round the bag. I'm not explaining myself very well, but next week I will have it to show you, because I really want to get it done before the workshop on Tuesday. So I bought this. I probably bought too much, because I hadn't thought that through completely, but I figured that it was something that you can probably use on a lot of bags, so I will use it up. So possibly I went a bit off piece with that, but yeah, so that, but it was on my to-do list, so I'm allowing myself that. And then I did buy something that wasn't on the list, and I only bought one thing. So it's this from Pinflair, and basically you cover these large pieces of card to create something, and I've got these baskets, and I've got some really nice sewing material. It's got like cottons and things on it, and I thought I'd make these to have on my desk to just keep bits and pieces in while I'm working on a project, so they don't keep falling on the floor. So this wasn't on the list, but it will use up some of the material that I've got already, so I didn't need to buy any material. So that was the only thing that I bought that wasn't planned. I wanted to get the backing for my Alice Caroline Block of the Month quilt, and I have been working really hard on that this week, and you can see it behind me. I've now joined 3 of the 6 rows together, so it's getting there, and I really wanted some sort of Liberty fabric to back it with. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do another Liberty quilt because it has been quite expensive to do, but I'm looking at it as an heirloom. And so when I went to Dirty's fabric sale on Saturday, that he had some Liberty there, and I got this to go on the back, and I figured that the blue, you can kind of see it with the background behind me, would go with that, and it was only £10 a metre. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. So I've got enough of that to do the backing and the binding, so once I've joined all 6 rows together, I just need to get the wadding to finish that. So that was everything I purchased, and I think that was quite self-controlled there, because I could have spent a lot more, but I didn't. So I was really quite pleased with myself. But because I've been out a lot, I didn't have very much finished to show you. As I said, I've been working on the quilt behind me, and taking out many pieces of paper. I still have left the papers on the very edge, just until it's completely finished, and then I'll take them out before I back, because I just wanted them to not sort of get looser. I wanted them to stay quite sharp in the point, so I've left the papers in for that. But hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll be at the point where the quilt sandwich will be put together and I'll be able to start quilting it. But I did think, okay, I haven't got anything finished this week, so what have I got that I could finish quickly that's been sat in the work in progress pile? And then I realised that I did have a piece of cross stitch that has been sitting beside my chair in the lounge for a very long time, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to finish that. So it was this Boffy Threads birth sampler, and I did it for my grandson, and all I had to do was personalise it, and so I have now done that, and it is framed, and he's only 2.5, so it hasn't taken him that long, and I could have finished it a bit before that, but I'm really pleased with the way it came out, so I can actually give that to them now. So I'm not sure he will totally appreciate it at the moment, but hopefully my daughter and son-in-law will. Yeah, so I did finish something, not very much, but something. So hopefully this week I'm going to get a bit more done. I'm going to carry on trying to work on this. I'm going to do my cutting mat bag, and I've also got to finish quilting another 6 panels for the Block of the Month workshop on Tuesday. So I'm hoping to get that done over the next few days, because I'm going to London on Saturday with my friends to go and see Mamma Mia the party. So that's going to be a full day out, and we've already said no crochet on the train, so I won't be doing anything Saturday, but hopefully I'll have something to show you then. Okay, have a good week. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to continue with me on this journey, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.